So has everyone had breakfast?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No?
Go fix it.
Fudge!
Just
Fudge crackers.
breakfast.
Throw all the coffee candy out.
Yeah, okay, I got coffee candy. I got
I had a bit of candy, a bit of Doritos. Is that breakfast?
It's the breakfast of champions, yes.
Woo!
It's the breakfast of champions. I only have...
I had a twist orange Gatorade.
I have the raw version though if you want it, so...
Raw version.
The raw version.
Oh.
Raw version. So you can cook that yourself. I forgot if I've given you one, but here you go.
What is that?
It's Indomie. Yes, it is. I only got 2 left. Have I given you 2 something?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so I got 2 left. So whoever comes first.
I know.
You're already gonna get one.
You get ramen.
You get ramen. Everyone gets ramen. No, it has to stay beneath my 2 times 20 feet program limit. I can't do that.
Yeah.
And everybody was just look under the chair. Made you look.
Yes, we are starting on time. Literally on the second. I want you to go down.
I'll let you do that.
Huh? Then watch me stutter the opening.
Please, make it authentic.
9, 8,
Yes.
7,
Shit.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No, not make it to the final cut. Good morning, everyone. Oh goodness! Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for coming for so early in the morning. It's 10:30. I know it's basically the sun is now getting like this. These time zone things are killing me, guys.
We're not that far up
Jet
north.
lag is a real thing.
Jet lag is a real thing, and it's been 5 days. So, welcome, and thank you for joining me and my fellow friends here for the Con Travel Stories panel, a very international edition. Because yeah, this is the first time I'm running this panel, and I don't think I've seen anyone else do it. I know yesterday there was one travel tips panel. Was anyone there?
I was there for like maybe 10 minutes.
Okay, but there was one yesterday. I'm not sure if the panel is gonna, if that panel is gonna end up here, but I think that one, if you were there, that was like U.S. Pacific. I ducked my head in. But today we're going to be sharing with you. Well, I mean, we also want to hear from you about if you came all the way here, your stories about traveling to pony conventions to the U.S. or North America, wherever it is that you come from across either ponds on the side of this continent.
Or even if you're American and have ever traveled to, say, Europe for
Yes.
a pony convention, how was that?
Yes, for the cons in the UK or the European Union, or maybe even Russia and Ukraine, because they do run cons there, by the way. So anyway, before I let my panelists introduce themselves, my name is Jared Nightingale. You usually call me Nightie or NightieTime. I flew all the way from Indonesia to attend this convention. And this is my 3rd convention that I didn't run myself. I went to 8 cons, 5 of them I ran.
Ouch.
So it's fantastic. It's great to be here, and it's great to see you guys. Want to hear our experiences as we travel the world. Some of us has more mileage than others when it comes to overseas conventions. So without further ado, I think I will let my fellow panelists introduce themselves by the longest distance they flew into this convention. So that has to go with Al Train first here from Australia.
Right, yeah. So I'm El Train from Adelaide, Australia. I think I'm the furthest, like the person who's travelled the furthest out of all the convention attendees. Because I haven't actually met any other
We're already on
Australians.
Monday back where you live.
Sorry?
I'm pretty sure we're already on Monday back where you live.
I think it's actually Tuesday there now.
That'd be 2024 already. You know?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's 2:32 a.m. there.
Can we get it?
The lottery numbers?
Yeah, but that'd be wrong.
Back to the Future IRL edition.
Yes. What else should I say? I think I was counting. I think this is my 3rd trip to the US. I'm trying to think about how many cons I've attended here. Yes. So I've enjoyed a few very long international flights in my time. I'm here as a musician, and you may have seen me at the concerts last night on Friday night. So if you did, thank you. If you didn't, hopefully you watched the live stream instead. And so I don't know.
They were all really killing it in the last 2 nights. Like the musicians are amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm Provox. Came all the way from Finland.
Came all the way from hell.
Yeah, from hell. I flew out from hell.
Airport code.
Yeah. Funny airport code and funny story about that airport code. Back in the day, there used to be a flight 666 to hell. And if I am not mistaken, the last time they flew that was on Friday the 13th.
Oh!
But yeah, anyway, this is my 6th overseas con, and I'm not gonna count how many like international cons because it's way easier to count how many cons I've been to in my home country, 2. Funnily enough, it was the first con I ever been to in terms of pony cons, and the last con before this one that I went to, that was one in Finland. So, but yeah, this is also my 3rd Ciderfest. So
Ooh,
yeah,
nice. So you're a frequent here.
Yep.
Were you here when it was on the old venue?
Yeah, I
Nice.
was in 2018.
Nice.
Was my first time here.
Alright, hello, my name's Samudash, and at this point this is my 5th overseas trip to the US, and all of them have been for conventions, some of them for multiple. And fun fact, this is my first Ciderfest, but it is overall my 20th pony convention, so that's pretty interesting achievements regarding when you think about that. Most of the conventions I did were post-COVID. I had like a few before and just went completely crazy afterwards.
That's like all of them, right? Post-COVID, 20?
Not all of them, but a good amount.
Good amount. Probably not like the ones in Russia,
probably.
the one in Ukraine. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's been post-COVID cons in China also.
Yeah, there has been. There has been at least 3.
Okay,
Last
at
year
least
alone.
3.
I don't know. This year I've seen 2.
Yeah.
Even in Chengdu, which is kind of near Wuhan, and as well as near Beijing, there's another one. So yeah, they've been kicking it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm from Lower Bavaria in Germany, and there's not only no cons around there. There's pretty much nothing around there. So I've been very used to traveling to see friends or do fun stuff.
in Germany?
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
still like 7 hours from me, like
Ouch.
Train or bus or car.
per train. So like 6 hours if DB has a good day, and maybe 9 if they're normal.
Hi, my name is Tired and Hungry, and I'm Flynn. I'm also from Germany. This is my 18th con, but I think only because I count some events as cons that he doesn't.
There is a definition. There need to be panels and a venue, and every encore is not a con. It's great, but it's not a con.
They have venues.
I mean, they have a venue, but they don't have panels.
Yeah, it's a little convention for me.
It's a convention because you get to see your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From all over the place. That counts for me.
This is my 2nd overseas convention, but international a lot more because I'm from Europe. I can basically... Actually, I had one convention during COVID, which was the last day of Heartwarming Con, and I decided on Saturday evening, screw it, tomorrow I'm going to Heartwarming Con. And then I traveled like 5 hours by car to the next country, to the Netherlands, to attend one day of a con. I was like, yeah, best decision I did.
So now you're here. So now you're here, stuck with all of us. Righto, and I don't know if you guys are in the audience, but I also know that there are some other foreign ponies here that are not Canadians. Sorry, Mickey. Anyway, I know there were people who flew in from also Mexico, some from the Czech Republic. Obviously, a lot of there we go. Welcome on board. You also flew I think a bit further away from someone flew here, but maybe a little less than Provox. I also heard there's Mexicans, the Czechs. Obviously, a lot of British people are here. I don't think I want to count them though, but yeah.
This is America. We hate the Brits.
And I don't know about Europe as well.
I'm pretty sure most of the world has had one part of beef with the Brits at least once in world history.
Well, to me, it kind of evens out because they gave us jelly babies.
Okay, yeah, you know what? That's a fair assessment. I'll go with that. But let's not get too political with the jelly beans, though.
And English breakfast.
Fair. Fair.
Sorry? No,
No, that's not good. Yeah. Oh, where was my train?
No, it's getting worse than politics.
Oh my goodness, it's food politics. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, so I lost my train of thought there already. You can tell that I haven't been running pals in a few years out of COVID. I've only just been part of the Glimmer Gang, and that's just actually Taylor. So yeah, these people have their own share of stories about even this time around flying into Ciderfest. How was your experience? Like, how many hours have you all flown? I'll start. Like just flying. Okay, now let's define this. The international leg to the United States took me about 24 hours. That included 4 hours of transiting in Haneda Airport, Japan, Tokyo. And that's why, like, when a lot of people come around and say, "Hey, I thought you were from Tokyo." I'm like, no, I just stopped by there. But I flew here in 24 hours, and the only person who can beat me here is probably the Australian. How many hours are you flying?
I think all up including layovers, it was about 25 or 26 hours. They did make me layover in Dallas for like 6 hours, which was not great.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if I could ever handle that. I already like hate flying as a whole, but I don't know if I could handle like a 20-hour flight.
It was, to be fair, the longest actual flight was only like 14 and a bit hours. I think, so I left Australia on Tuesday. I think my first flight took off at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I got into this hotel just before midnight on the same Tuesday. It was like a 40-hour day. I would not recommend it.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened to me. Like the moment I woke up on the same day I departed, I had to queue for like almost 2 hours in Chicago Airport at O'Hare. Like, I don't know if you guys went through O'Hare recently, the international side, but they are absolutely
As a native Chicagoan,
cursed.
I can confirm O'Hare is a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
All
It is
costs.
so far. I've been through JFK. I've been through SFO and Seattle, Tacoma. This is the worst.
I
This is the worst. I'm sorry.
I can have it again. Spoilers building up to my worst travel story ever. It does involve O'Hare.
Like I say, welcome to O'Hare, or as I like to call it, hell.
No, there's actually an airport called Hell anyways.
Yeah, hell.
So you can't take over Helsinki away.
So you're saying O'Hare is worse than hell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Depending on.
O'Hare, more like, oh shit.
Okay, so this is not the airport roasting panel?
O'Hare is a dinosaur, though.
Oh god.
What's so bad about it?
It's just so busy that you can't even time everything properly. It's a nightmare to deal with.
Look,
So
here's
just like London.
just like Heathrow, yeah, and Heathrow only has to deal with 2 runways. Imagine having to deal with like, I don't know, 6? 3 active at the same time, that's O'Hare.
I didn't know we were in that like that.
Like,
We're talking
minimum,
about-
you have to get to your flight like
I think we're still in the
3 to 4
introduction
hours
phase
in
already.
advance,
Yeah.
otherwise you have a serious chance of missing it because security is so long.
Yeah. We're still in the flight time.
hours in Dublin.
Yeah, flight
Okay,
time.
I just have to introduce this. If you're talking about bad airports, I have to mention Frankfurt Hahn, which is a tiny airport but still international one. It is nowhere near Frankfurt. It's like, I think by bus it's like 2 or 3 hours, even by car it's 1.5 hours from Frankfurt. They just call it like because they want to get the attention of Frankfurt. But it's nowhere near. It has the entire airport has just one level. There are no stairs or escalators, but there are also like no gateways to the flights. You have to walk across the yeah, you have to walk across the tarmac.
So it's like London Stansted.
Or London City.
So can you catch a flight there from Frankfurt?
I don't think so. No, I think there's
Oh,
only.
that'll be fun if you can.
Back to O'Hare for a second. The only perk I ever see about that airport is that they have a dinosaur in the main terminal.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one. It's been a few years since I've been
It's
there.
in Terminal 1. It's supposed to promote the field.
Alright,
museum.
is that O'Hare?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about O'Hare. Okay. I would not like to see that.
I've actually flown a few times from Frankfurt Hahn a few years ago. I think there's only Ryanair flying from there or to there, and yeah, everything is cheap. Well, except the price, those are expensive.
Cheap flights, give me those.
But yeah, I just counted about approximately how long my flight time, including layovers, was, and that was about almost 20 hours for me. But I had a pretty sizable layover in Paris. But that was
How is Charles de Gaulle these days?
I mean, that was my first time there. It was fine enough.
They striking?
They were not striking as far as I could tell.
Yes.
Was took a bit of time to get from my flight over to the exact part of the terminal where my gate was. Had to take a bus within the airport for that.
Oh god.
You have to take a subway. At the freaking Heathrow.
You can't walk out on the wing and have a cigarette?
There's a man on the wing of the plane!
Oh, I got an image for that.
There's a man
I'll
in the
turn
wing of
it
the
in.
plane. Alright, fine. It's me. I'm the man in the wing.
It's 90.
You can do that. Only
Where's
once.
Shatner when you need him?
So my con-traveling was kind of split into 2 days, even though the two of us came from the same country. I'm very far away from Frankfurt, so I wouldn't have been able to make it on the day that we flown out because that was around 8 a.m. So I had around a 7-hour Deutsche Bahn trip to Frankfurt the day before, which went surprisingly well.
Oh.
That is
No way!
a scary fact, I guess. And I took the hotel at the Frankfurt airport that I already know well enough. So that was 7 to 8 hours there, and then including getting out everything at the airport and flying over directly because I'm not dealing with the baggage on connecting flights if I don't have to.
Yeah, screw that.
I think it comes around to 19, 20 hours of travel time.
That's not too bad.
I think I had the tamest travel here. I think from home to the hotel.
I have to bring that up. Continue.
I think from leaving home to arriving at the hotel was 15 hours, I think. Which includes 1 hour of driving, about 2.5 hours at the airport, 10 hours of flying, a little bit at the airport in Chicago, and then a 1 hour ride here from Chicago.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
how did that Uber go?
It was fairly nice. I was very happy to see Six Flags Great America again.
I was surprised that he was driving the stick shift.
Whoa! No way!
Yeah,
Stick shift in America?
yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't mind, I drive stick shift all the time, but in America, what?
Yeah. And one of the funny parts that actually happened when I flew in here is that I spent more time in my car in Jakarta from my office to the airport than I did spend on the immigration line in Chicago.
Oh yeah, no, if you're coming from international, yeah.
Yeah,
there for at least.
I had to travel what's 30 kilometers, about 17, 18 miles in 2 hours. Yeah, that was you know what? I think it is Jakarta telling me to go off myself. Go away and don't come in. I wish. But yeah, with that said, I think everyone here just wants to go straight to their funniest stories because they're already starting to bank on it. And I know at least Provox is already ready to just burst in with one of their worst experiences in trying to travel to a con before. So what do we have you first talking about?
Okay,
Just
so
quickly, I think we spent less than 5 minutes on immigration.
It was only our flight.
yeah,
Screw you guys!
yeah. I mean, so this is my story of me traveling to TrotCon 2021.
Okay, let's go. Once upon a time in the magical land of Ohio.
Well, we started off in the land of Finland, where
Okay.
already off to a great start with the flight's takeoff being delayed by I think an hour at least.
Oh, cow.
We had boarded, but it took quite a lot of time before we took off, and then we arrive at Chicago, and it's looking already like there's pretty much no way for me to catch my connecting flight. Technically, the connecting flight hadn't taken off yet, but I was assuming that yes, probably customs is gonna be way too long, and it was the longest lines I have ever been at for customs.
Which airport is this?
O'Hare. I had a layover in O'Hare before getting over to Cleveland.
Are you familiar with Murphy's Law of Customs?
Yeah.
If you have a connecting flight, that's when you'll take the longest.
Yeah, I mean...
Connecting flight in Chicago, make sure that it's at least 3 hours in advance.
Yeah, yeah.
3 hours is not enough.
Yeah.
Even then, you're probably not going to make it.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been probably like around 2 or 3 hours of layover if it had been as scheduled. But anyway, so I stand in line for a very long time, and then when I finally get to talk to a CBP agent, they pick me to randomly do a very, very thorough search of everything, and thorough, I would actually lean towards calling it an interrogation.
Oh God!
Like they went through both of my bags, like questioned me about all of the pony plushies and things.
No!
They called my contact person on my ESTA, which was Lockrock, and thankfully he had remembered my full legal name. that was the thing he told me later, that he was happy that he did remember, because, you know, obviously they're not gonna be like, do you know Provost? They're gonna be, do you know blank my...
Really? Shout out to Lockrock, he's been doing an awesome programming for his entire convention.
Yeah. Shout out
if
to
you see him,
Lockrock.
just say thank you.
Rock is the best.
Yeah. So, by the... I don't remember exactly how long I was stuck there in customs, but by the time I got out, the info desks for my airline had already closed, so
Oh God.
I had to figure out what was my situation with like my replacement connecting flight, and that was also a hassle. So at first I found the customer service number for American Airlines. And
God, there's your second problem.
They said, if I remember correctly, at least 1 hour of a line to have to talk to someone on there, and that wasn't really happening. Thankfully, one of my friends did manage to point out to me that, hey, here's an specifically for Finnish customers, customer service number for American Airlines, and well, they did get to me pretty quickly. Sadly, the first time I called them, they redirected me to Finnair's customer support, since that was my first leg of my flight was with Finnair, and surprise, surprise, because of time zone differences, it was closed.
Welcome to Phone Tree L.
No way.
So then I had to call them up again, and then thankfully I finally got information that okay, I have a flight, I think 6 in the morning to Cleveland, and yeah, I think that ended up still being quite a bit of international calls in total, so that cost my mom quite a bit on the phone bill.
Oh God, I hate that.
And yeah, also to make things extra great, I did not find any really good spot to sleep, because all benches that would have been good for sleeping were already taken. So
Oh my God, yeah.
I had to kind of half sleep sitting to get at least a little bit of rest, and then I could thankfully sleep a bit on Locke's couch before we headed down to Columbus.
Shout out to Lockrock again.
Yeah, shout out to Lockrock.
Shout out to Lockrock's couch, I guess.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lockrock's couch!
So yeah, that was my worst con travel experience, and that's why I avoid layovers in America like the plague now.
Just a little mini story, but on the topic of Chicago. It's not about the airport, but I also have a Chicago curse. Because,
Chicago curse.
yes, after Winnie City this year, a friend of mine and I were driving towards the east because we wanted to go to Cedar Point the next day. And somewhere around like close to midnight, we were driving through Chicago on the interstate, and there was suddenly a noise. and that was the first time I ever had a flat tire in my life.
Oh,
So
in a foreign country, 10 out of 10. What the?
we were sitting there like right next to an exit ramp on the interstate, just waiting for roadside assistance for like 45 minutes, which was that's still okay to get the replacement tire on. But at that point we didn't know like, okay, are we able to get a tire at like after midnight somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Chicago? My friend truly thought it wasn't the case, but I just pulled up on Google Maps being like, okay, 24-hour tire shop. And there were like two options, and one seemed like semi-legit, the other one, nah. So we drove to that. It was like 10 minutes from where we were. And we didn't even see it at first. Like it was a huge doorway with just some people standing around and chatting, and we weren't even sure, is that like the tire shop or is that just like wrongfully labeled or anything like that? So we carefully approached and parked there and asked like, hey, is this the tire shop? Oh yeah, tire shop. And like this huge doorway opens and we see like this entire hall of tires like.
That sounds like a culture shock, to be honest.
It was tire heaven right in front of us. It was amazing.
At that point, did you think that you've already went through heaven or something?
Yeah,
You think you have transcended?
I was like, oh my god, Chicago, what have you done here?
That's the thing about America. You never, any hours of the day, there's always someone open 24 hours.
Yeah.
Every shoddy.
So yeah, we got the tire. We got to Cedar Point like 2 or 3 hours later than we originally anticipated, but it was definitely a fun time and my first time actually in Chicago, not just driving mine.
I'm not gonna worry. I just go with that.
I don't think I have really a crazy story that happened to myself, but more often it happens to my friends, and somehow I often get involved in that. Because I live basically in the middle of Germany. I live in the middle between GalaCon, Everfree Enco, and Ponycon Holland. I have a car, so usually I drive to all the conventions, even the ones around Germany, because EU. I often pick
I'm
up...
jealous of these guys, seriously. All of these except for the Aussie, but you know, all of them.
Wow.
I mean,
Okay, to be fair, he has an ESTA, so I'm also jealous for him.
I often try to pick up a few friends and we split the gas cost, because if you're with 2 people in the car, that's already cheaper than Deutsche Bahn. And then this year I went on a flight for Epona Fest. I was very busy, so I could only travel there on Friday evening for the con on Saturday morning. A friend of mine was supposed to leave on Friday around noon from a different airport. And somehow his flight got first delayed, then got cancelled. He was put on another flight on the evening. But I didn't know which airport, because Milan has 3 airports.
Oh my god.
None of which are inside the city, like all are, I think, at least 1.5 hours away by car. If you're going public transport, they are better count 3 hours. And I was arriving near Milan. I had, thankfully, a friend agreed to pick me up with her car. And when we touched down, I switched on my phone, and then I read from my friend, dang it, I'm late. I'm at the airport. I can't get a bus or anything. Is anyone there to pick me up? I was like, at which airport are you? No reply. Please tell me, where are you? I just touched down. Maybe I can pick you up. Well, my friend could pick both of us up. Yeah, apparently his service went down. And at some point we just left the airport, and then he got to reply, but he was actually at the other airport. So we thankfully didn't miss each other. And then we had to pick him up at Milano Central Station, because even from there he would have had, I think, another hour to the hotel, and it was for us like 20-minute drive.
Well, that was good.
Where was that? Wasn't that like a free Wi-Fi at the airport?
I don't know. But I tried to call him. He gave me his number, but I couldn't reach him. Apparently he didn't have service. Also, Wi-Fi depends on where you are, but in Europe, not everyone offers free Wi-Fi, especially in Germany.
Now I don't want to go there anymore. So yeah, you heard from us, but how about you guys? Like, do you have anyone here may have their own weird travel experiences when you went to the convention anywhere in the world? Whether it is that you're flying in here to the US, or if you flew out to maybe if you've attended GalaCon, PCH, anything. Does anyone in the audience want to say anything? Yes, let's start with you.
I have the shortest
probably dumbest travel story.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, I was attending my second HarmonyCon in Texas,
Nice.
and I was picking up a friend who I convinced somehow to go to the convention as well.
Mhm.
I picked them up at the airport, parking in the parking garage, find them, we get back in the car, and then we proceed to spend like 15 minutes trying to figure out how to get out of the airport. Just kept driving in circles. That's a one-way street. Well, that's a stop sign, and we can turn in here, but just keep going in circles.
It's only made better because you're doing it with a friend. So it's all just more ridiculous. And that's beautiful. Anyone else? The guy in the blue shirt. Yes, you know.
Yeah, this one time we were going to British Isles.
That's in the UK.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love how we're already laughing. It was good. It was good. Listen.
I just realized the story.
We had we wanted to meet up at the airport before going to security. I arrived first, so I sat down by a KFC to buy myself lunch, waiting for them to come. They arrived, okay, so I finished my lunch, we go through the security check, arrive at the gate, okay, we have about half an hour till they close the gate. In 10 minutes they started boarding. For some mysterious reasons, us Czechs really love to queue up for things, even though everyone had their seat assigned. So everyone was already like standing in a queue before the gate even opened. When it opened, everyone else queued up. And we were like, okay, so you can just sit for 10 or 15 more minutes till everyone gets processed and then get to the plane. Okay, so we sit there, then they start calling last call for passengers on our flight. So we all get up, and I turn around, and I'm sort of like, wait a moment. I had a suitcase with me with all of my clothes. Where did that go? Don't you know, Ferrari? Then where was the last time I saw it? Oh shit, at the KFC before the security check. So I had a choice. Either go back and get my suitcase with all my clothes and miss the flight, or get on the flight without any clothes.
I mean, actually, if you talk to the gate agent, they probably would have held it for you.
It was the last call, and they didn't care.
That's America for you.
That's Europe for you.
That's Czech for you.
That's the Czech Republic for you.
Let's be honest, it's a worldwide problem.
Yeah, it is.
I talked to the gate agent because I was like, hey, I forgot my suitcase. Please don't like call in the bomb squad or anything. It's not a bomb, it's just my shitty myself forgot it, and it's all my clothes. And they were like, whatever, somebody dropped it off and they lost and found. Okay, so we board a plane, and then landed in Manchester, and that was the first time in my entire life that out of my own volition, I got up and went clothes shopping.
It was amazing because right at the shop, he texted his mom.
Yes.
Good news and bad news. Good news, I finally bought my own clothing. Bad news, it's because I forgot my own.
That's gonna be the reason why I finally do my own clothes shopping.
I sent her an image of the Primark logo, and she was like, what are you doing there? Clothes shopping. Why are you buying clothes in Primark? And it had a great ending. When I finally got some clothes, we went to the hotel, and I told the reception lady that I forgot all my clothes back in my home city. Okay, she laughed and everything. And then next year we come back around for the con again, and she remembered me. She was like, I'm the one that forgot his suitcase last year. Yes, that's me. I still didn't forget it this time.
Actually, but there was one good thing, because when he got got back, and he went to get the bag from the airport. A week later, he was going to Epona.
Oh no!
I had the bag already prepared.
Okay, so you did not miss this time to Italy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one is just a general travel story. This happened when I was younger. We went to, I think it was either Universal Studios or Disney in Florida. And of course, it came time to basically load the bags onto the X-ray scanner. My dad went packing, put an alarm clock and a pack of AA batteries next to each other. Yeah, that was a very...
Ladies and gentlemen, please don't do this.
Yeah, that was a very interesting conversation with airport security.
Talking about airport security and getting stuff through.
Uh-huh.
One time we were flying over to where was
I swear to God, it's not a bomb.
we were flying over to Paris to go to Disneyland there.
Uh-huh.
So okay, we get on the through security onto the plane, fly over, and when we arrive to the hotel, I like start going through my pockets to put all the stuff away,
Oh, no.
and then suddenly I freeze, and I pull out a handful of firecrackers. From the New Year's Eve. Oh my God! Security, man.
Wow, security is
In the plane. And no one ever noticed that.
Actually, I have a similar travel, well, not that similar, but this was at TrotCon 21. The day of the convention, the day after the convention, actually no, it was the night of the convention. That was the day Spider-Man No Way Home came out in theaters.
I got your hand, you can drop it down. I got it.
So naturally, during a break in panels that I wanted to go see, I went and saw the movie with another convention goer. As I was leaving the theater, I reach into my pocket and freeze.
As well.
My wallet is gone.
Oh,
I go back to the theater, kind of having a panic attack. They can't find it, so now I'm thinking, what the hell am I gonna do? I can't fly home without my wallet. I can't fly home without any form of ID. I had no other form of ID on me. So, fortunately for me, the people at John Glenn Airport were very helpful and very understanding, and I got everything taken care of. I did have to go for a bit of a lengthy security process, but other than that, I got home without any issue.
That's good.
I actually
And then I got a new wallet upon my return.
I actually got a similar thing to what you experienced with finding something random in your pockets when you fly somewhere. Because this year when I flew to the US for the first time, the week before it was ever free encore and Brony Festival, lots of alcohol, lots of drinks. I thought I cleared out all of it out of my backpack that I brought, but little did I know when I finally arrived in the US and unpacked my backpack, I found a bunch of alcohol just lying at the bottom of the backpack. I wasn't 21 at that point, so I definitely wasn't allowed to bring that under any circumstances, but it was never noticed.
Mind you, you can drink alcohol in Germany at 16, not 21.
Let's hear it for Germany.
Well, I mean, in America you can too, except most people just don't. Well, you can too, just as long as you don't get caught by the law. Leave your parents home.
Yeah.
Enjoy your parents home.
We got one more from the back. We got one from the back that are registered. Yeah, for the go.
Does it have to be international or can it be a bit more?
Preferably international, but if you have something local that's really fun, we can go.
I mean, going to and from Windy City last year. So, I was caravanning with Gleamy and a couple other friends. And Gleamy's car at the time was the one that was kind of falling apart. Well, very much was falling apart. So, we're going up I-65, they're trying to catch up, and their car starts having issues. So we're having to nurse it all the way up. We're going through Indiana. It is like the middle of the. So we stop in Franklin, Kentucky, unload some stuff from their car and my car because I still have some room. We continue nursing that car up across Kentucky and into Indiana, a little bit north of Indianapolis on I-65, but just outside of Wolcott, Indiana. They managed to hit a pothole on the right-hand line of the highway.
that pops one of their tires.
Oh god.
So it's the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere in Indiana. We tried calling some tow trucks, but we tried to get their insurance to call some tow trucks. They can't get anyone trying to call a tow truck. That all goes to the answer machine though. Apparently they were open, but we have to leave a message. So we spent the night at that rest area, just outside of Wolcott, Indiana. By the way, do not sleep at a rest area. 0 out of 10, do not recommend.
Yeah, don't do that. Please don't do that. Unless if you're in Europe, because I know their rest areas are good. I think.
Yeah.
Please confirm or not. I don't know. The Australians, I don't know.
Yeah, chances are if you sleep in a rest area in the middle of nowhere, more than likely you're encounter some homeless guy methed up.
No, we did not encounter that.
Surprisingly, it's Indiana though, so I'm shocked.
There's a bunch of truckers around there. But so in the morning, we're able to get the tow truck tows back down to Lafayette for a Walmart there, where they're able to change, where they had a tire in stock that would fit their car. So we nursed that car up in Chicago. They managed to get looked at by some friends, and so get a part replaced on it. So as we're heading back down through Indiana again, heading back towards Alabama, on I-65, we don't even make it to Wolcott, because just outside of Rensselaer, the engine on their
I
car
have absolutely no idea what these places are.
between Indianapolis and Chicago.
Which one's Indianapolis?
Just the middle of Indiana, the capital.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put a mental map of the United States in my head right now. It's not working.
So the next question is which one's Indiana?
Yeah, which one's Indiana? Okay, I got it.
Indiana is the state immediately east of Illinois.
Okay. It's a flat one. I think they're all flat all the way out to the Pacific Northwest, right? For the most part.
That makes it flat. Yeah.
That's right. Put your ICBMs. I know that.
So as we're heading south past Rensselaer, the engine on their car dies in the median of I-65. So we have to spend the night there at Rensselaer. In the morning, we're able to rent a U-Haul. It also sounded like the shop they were towed to wanted just to take the car and scrap it. They did not want to scrap the car. So
have you guys done any road trips this wild with this kind of outcome? This is something that seems to be only happening in America.
Yeah, so we're able to pick up a U-Haul just out to a bit further north. We're able to pick up a U-Haul with a car trailer on it, get the car driven up onto that, and we're able to tow it down to Alabama, have to stop out in Athens, Alabama overnight, and then made it all the way back down to Jasper where they live.
At least they made it down.
Yeah, we made it back. We were able to get them a new car, but that was probably the most hectic con trip I've ever had. Including the one where I drove cross country to Evergreen Northwest last week.
I think I got one there.
Not a con trip and not international, but may top all the road trip stories.
Let's see. I mean, we've got international power to judge your story, so.
Family story. So we were driving down to Florida to have a vacation. We get to the Disney campgrounds, park, set up a camper, and that night my brother gets out of bed, walks over to my parents and goes, "Mom and Dad, take me to the hospital, I can't breathe." 3 days in intensive care later, we pick up and move to a different campsite. That night, it was a really hot day, cold day. That night, breeze comes up, so my dad opens all the windows but keeps the screens up, so we get invaded by no-see-ums. Eaten alive. My mom and I spend the night in the car.
Oh God.
Next morning, we all abandon the camper and run down to the beach. My brother starts boogie boarding, and then he sees what looks like a plastic bag floating in the ocean, which he picks up on his boogie board and shows it everyone.
No.
And then gets bare chest onto the boogie board.
Oh no.
One of the side effects of man war stings is breathing problems.
Yeah. Oh,
so after this, we decide we're just going to go to Busch Gardens and then go home. So after a nice day at Busch Gardens, my parents take us to the play area to get us exhausted. Smart parenting, get them exhausted so they don't cause trouble. My sister decided to cause trouble. Half an hour later, I'm sitting there with my parents, and we see her walking towards us with her arm at a weird angle. I think they broke my arm.
Oh God.
So we're driving driving home, and my mom just like.
Everything just decided to happen.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there. My sister's like, my brother's like. And then my mom goes. What's that smell of burning rubber?
Oh God!
The amp car was practically turned inside out.
That is incredible. Like what the heck? Like I think that would have basically have summarized like every single con story into a very very condensed form. everyone has in big trouble when they. How about you, Trey? What's the weirdest thing that happened to you when you travel to a con anywhere? I mean twice, but.
Okay, so I guess my story's from 2019. So this was before. What was it? I think
that was before ended.
It was in the before times. No, so this was between. So I was in LA for Anime Expo, and then I was going up to TropCon. And in between, I did some sightseeing sort of in the south, and I was in New Orleans. This was in July. In New Orleans, and of course there's a hurricane in the Gulf. So yeah, as soon as I land in New Orleans, I get a because I was going to take the train from to Houston, and so as soon as I land there, I get an email. Yeah, your train has been cancelled. Please call us for travel options. So I call up Amtrak, and they're like, yeah, there's no travel options. Right. Well, this was a useless phone call. Yeah. Yes.
Hello, you're far.
Okay, the kids program is done, right? Sorry.
So eventually, I think I ended up getting a flight into Houston. It was like a day or 2 days after I was meant to leave there, so I ended up staying in the Airbnb I was at for 2 days. I did get the interesting experience of being in New Orleans as a hurricane is bearing down on it. It was fine. Didn't actually hit the city, but I did get to see a day where like there was no one in the city. Like I was like in the main kind of square there, and there's like no tourists, which never happens. So that's probably my weirdest story. Yes.
We have another story, Samuel and me. We went to last year's Everfree Northwest. After that, we had planned a road trip basically across down the entire West Coast, from Seattle down to LA.
You know what happened when you did that? Yeah, what happened?
We already rented a car. We picked it up at the airport, drove to the convention. During the convention, we had a small chat of all the Europeans that were at Everfree Northwest, including but not limited to Imalu, who you may know as the character designer who worked on the G5 movie. She designed the Izzy and Sunny. And on Monday morning, we were basically ready to leave the hotel.
After some extensive 3-hour goodbyes to everyone.
Yeah, that was the moment I was crying all the time without not thinking I'd meet them again. That's my part. There you go.
And then Imalu wrote in the chat, does somebody go to the airport? I'm willing to share an Uber or something because they have no way to go there. And I was like, I have a rental car, we have lots of time, we can drive you there. Our car was designed for 2 people and our bags, so we couldn't fit all 4 bags into the trunk.
But we only realized when we were already down in the parking garage.
Yeah.
So I basically started sprinting up back to the lobby with our luggage to give it to the reception while we were gone, and we decided we would come back later. I was never that fast with 2 pieces of luggage in my hands.
Yeah, so we left our luggage at the hotel, put Imalu and her partner in the car, drove them to the airport, drove back to the hotel to pick up our luggage, and then we started our road trip. And then like a few days later, we were down near San Jose, and I randomly found a tweet by Imalu, who didn't fly home. They actually made another trip. They flew to San Francisco and spent a few days with Dusty Cat. And I checked her tweet, or basically Dusty Cat's tweet, and I realized, wait, they're about 20 minutes from where we are right now. So I messaged them and was like, you want to meet up? And they were like, Sure. So we met up like a week after Evergreen West again down with in San Jose, and spent the evening with Emalu, her partner, and Dusty Cat.
Nice. Well, that's when happy coincidences happen. But we actually went down only one question. We were almost out of time right away. So you guys, we all have stories to tell, and we don't need. And I think we need more than one panel to do this. So we have to come back.
Tell the story about the time I almost got arrested. Wow.
And we got more stuff as well.
Is it the panel about stories?
It is a ton of those stories, but it's not done yet.
It has to come back and it has to go to other conventions as well.
Yeah, someone has to take that from me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we've heard stories about when we eventually make it somewhere, but there are also, unfortunately, stories that I want to share from people who did not make it, not because of their own terms, but because of how the world works. So everyone here, all of these Europeans, if you believe in Eurovision, Australia is also in Europe. All of these guys are allowed to have this little facility from the United States called the Electronic Travel Authority. And that is something that you can sign up online with just your passport details and some weird questionnaire. And they'll say, okay, fine, you can just fly with us, that's okay, that'll be $20 stuff.
Yeah, questions like, are you a terrorist?
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
That's on the last page there.
Yeah.
Please answer honestly.
Please answer honestly, yeah. So these guys are eligible for that, which makes it absolutely frictionless for them to travel basically everywhere in the world. But for people like me from Indonesia, from the Philippines, for people even from Russia, from Mexico, it's not that easy. We have to apply something that's called a visa, even for traveling to everywhere. It's not like I want to stay here for a long time, I don't want to study here, I don't want to work here. It's basically just, it's a visa to visit people, to visit the country, which takes a lot of time. And I'm lucky enough to get it because of some circumstances that is financially dependent. But just want to call out that there are several people that are probably a lot more famous in this fandom than I am. And if I show you this slide, you would probably recognize 2 out of 4. I'm 100% sure you can recognize 2 out of 4. And if you recognize 4 out of 4, congratulations, you're a member of the Brony Old Guard. So, yeah, you all know who they are.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And each one of them was once denied visas. Sugar never wanted to go to a convention, but we all know her relationship with Czar. And she was denied a Shanghai visa once to just see this, and had to go through the process of reapplying, testifying. It's a good thing that the Schengen area countries are a lot easier when it comes to attesting your visa rejection. But she got to do it, and she's really self-made, and she really earns above the median income of any Indonesian, if I can tell like the amount of popularity that she has in this fandom. And she has to go through this as well, even though she makes probably more money than I do. And next one, I don't know if you know about Weiser, but he is the, let me just flash this image up real quick. He made this. I got this signed by Sharon yesterday, shared this with a few people. He made this, and he's been in this fandom for the longest, but he was denied the US visa twice for BronyCon 16 and 18. Despite help and affidavits of support from active members of the US military. He got the money, he got everything, but it seems like the employment history, age, and country of origin seem to have hampered him. Next one, I think you've also heard about Tridashi. I'm pretty sure most of you call it Tridashi, but that's how you pronounce it, Tri. Same thing, been denied for a US visa at BronyCon. He is also self-made. He probably makes more money out of YouTube than I ever can dream of, and maybe from any other content creators can dream of. But he's self-made. Both Sugar and Tri are self-made people, and things have happened, and that was not believable enough for the US Embassy for him to go. And even when he wanted to go to EU, I think for one of the either Ponyville Halls or Galacons, the same thing happened to him that happened to Sugar. He basically forgot to send 1 extra month from his financial statements, and that bounced it off from the visa application. And the way he had to attest to, he had to list out everyone he's working with in Europe that he was going to plan to meet, including his itinerary and everything, and the test for his visa. And he got it, and he finally went to Ponyville 22, was it? 22.
22, yeah.
Yeah. And if you know this last person, like, you are absolutely a member of the old guard of the pony fandom. So same thing, BronyCon 2019. This guy has traveled to Australia a few times, but that did not go through too. So it's really tough for some of us out in the other side of the Great Wall, the Great Western Wall, to really just go and be ourselves. And it's sometimes underappreciated just how easy it is for them and how hard it is for us. So if you see someone that comes out of like, that doesn't come from like North America or Western Europe or Japan or Singapore in your next convention, or Australia and New Zealand, they went a long way to
You already said Europe.
yeah, what? Oh yeah, I already said that. Yeah. New Zealand, New Zealand's also part of Europe now, okay, whatever. But these people have gone a long way, and these people would do anything to be here with us in all these conventions, so it's incredibly hard to come to the United States just to have fun. And I'm really thankful that I can get to do this, and that's why I wanted to share these stories and hear from you guys. I'm lucky enough to have it, but that's not something that everyone else can say. So, as they say it in Quora, yes, someone who works at US CBP posted on Quora, your right to enter it, you have no rights to enter the United States. That's what they said. You have to prove that you can leave. You have to prove that you were doing it right. But really, we just want to go to Pony Convention. We just want to see our friends, and these people, at least two or three legends here. All of them really are legends. Can't make it. So next time you see someone next time you see a YouTuber, content creator, artist, whoever from my part of the world, that is not Singapore. Singaporeans can go anywhere. This is the kind of tribulation that I go through. These are the people who can't make it, and they would absolutely love it if they can make it. And there's nothing that, unfortunately, we can do about it. So, does anyone else have stories about visa rejections like this?
I'll jump in with not visa rejections, but I've heard stories of quite a few musicians not being able to make it to cons because they have merch in their bag. And if customs see that, it kind of convinces them you're on a business trip, which you may not, which you're not really meant to do on an ESTA.
Correct.
I think.
Yeah. Correct.
So yeah, there's been quite a few people turned away at. It's usually the Canadian border that's an issue actually.
Yeah, Canada also has a problem that like you're technically not supposed to be allowed to perform either, at least not for money. If you come over to the US, like I know for BronyCon 2019, this Strack Attack was denied entry, and they had to like scramble to get some replacement acts with Lavender Harmony and Faulty and Pegasus.
I remember. Anyway, so that's why I don't bring merch to cons. Well, partly why. There's other reasons, but yeah. So I can just tell the customs agent, yeah, I'm just here visiting some friends. Yeah, it's not a business trip.
Yeah, that's basically all that I can say to customs. If you go way too far with the Pony Convention, then they're gonna start questioning down that far. There's a reason behind it. Anyone?
Could you just ship the merch?
Customs.
I have heard of people doing that. Just send it to someone in country beforehand.
It is possible.
There's other reasons. Yeah, that's one way around it. There's other reasons.
Either that, or you print it with someone, right?
Yeah.
It's on the goodwill of the other person.
Oh, I'm sorry, I came in a little late. I was wondering if you could go down the line, your name and your country.
Okay, so that's Eltray. Eltray's from Australia. Provox is from Finland. Samu and Flynn are from Germany, and I'm Nightie. I'm from Indonesia. Yeah, so some of us. That's okay. These are not the guys. If these guys are here, I'm going to be absolutely ecstatic. These guys were denied a visa even. So yeah. Does anyone have like any other stories where you didn't make it to a convention, or someone that you think would have appreciated if they went to a convention too?
Could you share your favorite country convention?
Favorite country?
We're trying to open our mind of new places to go.
You all really should check out.
I mean,
go to Western Europe.
Yeah, Western Europe. I can definitely recommend Galacon and Everfriancor, both great events.
Yeah, and Chiquestria. Chiquestria runs in the right? Shout out Jameis. Jameis. That was not in the script.
But yeah, the whole Western European convention scene is like a huge family, so
I still need to dip my toes into going to more European cons than the German ones. For some reason, I have not done so yet.
Also Ponyville Holland.
Yeah,
Ponyville Holland.
They're not in English though.
They are. They are. So here's the thing. You all maybe you Americans might be more you might hear more from the Japanese cons. You might hear more about Japan, Ponycon, and all of that. The truth is, it's easier for you to speak in English in all the European cons instead of flying to Japan.
Yeah, like all the European cons have English as a primary language.
Yeah, it's a primary language.
Except for French.
Because
I mean, actually, one of the exceptions was the one small one-day con that we had in Finland in September. That one was primarily in Finnish, but it was also just like a two. Yeah, it was a bigger meetup. It was like 200 attendees.
But
yeah, that doesn't sound like a meetup.
That was the Crystal Pony Con?
No, that was Crystal Fair back in 2014. Crystal Fair back in 2014 was full in English. This was Ponycon, held in a toy museum that had like a exhibition about My Little Pony. And
You're saying Crystal Fair, I'm like, you mean in St. Louis?
yeah, there's funnily enough 2 different Crystal Fairs. There's Crystal Fair Helsinki and Crystal Fair St. Louis. Like, and funnily enough, I think the one in Helsinki was announced first, while St. Louis managed to hold their first convention first. Like, because Crystal Fair in Finland was announced already back in 2012 and held their first and only year in 2014. And then St. Louis was held in 2013 and announced, I think, later in 2012.
St. Louis has finally died.
Yeah, it's died down.
St. Louis here, thank you for making it.
We won one, it was fun.
But yeah, I mean, speaking of Crystal Fair, like at Ponycon, it was really nice reconnecting with because one of the guests of honor, or I guess community guests or whatever we had at that con was one of the con heads at Crystal Fair, and it was really nice hearing stories about like behind the scenes stuff of that, because also not just because it was interesting hearing like how is it for a con to have to deal with like not the financial side not really adding up and all that.
As for the European cons, you have to remember that Europe basically has, or at least within the EU, there are no borders.
Yes.
There are no controls, there are no border checks, anything. Even by plane, I can go to another country within the EU without any check or anything. You walk out of the plane, you grab your bag, you exit the airport.
That's a Schengen area. That's a Schengen agreement where almost all the EU member states, plus Switzerland and Greenland and Iceland for some reason,
and Norway.
But no longer the UK, right?
But not the UK. UK is entirely
The UK is not in Europe anymore.
It's not in Europe.
Yeah.
The UK is Australia. Wait.
So how do we get the money to get you guys to come here? I mean, travel to Ciderfest and go happy you came here.
Yeah, I mean, for Europeans it's a bit easier, like we don't need to get a full-on visa. We have the ESTA visa waiver program, so it's cheaper and easier. Like, technically there is a risk that you could get denied for it, but even then you could apply for a visa and maybe get accepted.
Maybe.
I can at least think of like one pretty notable case of someone from Europe getting denied entry to a pony convention, and that would be General Mumble back in HarmonyCon. That was 2020.
Yeah.
But that was also like since he had been staying in the US long for more stuff than what an ESTA would allow. He had had a visa, and they then felt that he was overstaying his rights that his visa allowed him, and he was turned away.
I think now he has.
Now he has a full visa.
So. A full permanent residency / work visa here.
Yeah. So at least it has a happy ending of that story, but.
When I saw that he got his I think it was a sponsor, whatever it was approved. This is really happy to see it.
Yeah.
You do not want to go through a US visa interview.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I can imagine that's probably not great.
They won't do anything to deny you.
Yeah.
You are denied by default.
That's their goal.
Exactly. $160, thank you, for USCIS. You're not gonna get money back.
How's it opposite for US going overseas?
Yeah.
For the US and overseas, if you check the amount of visa countries that were eligible for visa waiver, basically all the countries that's relevant in the world, easy for you. You can go there. You can go to Indonesia, visa on arrival at worst. The only places you need visa is probably Russia, China, and India. You want to go there? China's good. China's good, but
I mean, it'd be cool, but
yeah,
not any place.
yeah.
As for the European conventions, because they're basically no borders, usually always have international audience.
Yeah.
So basically, all European conventions, except for the French ones.
Screw the French.
That's why we don't even hear about the French ones.
Yeah.
Rush over at this point.
We're just destroying Canadians and French here. Alright,
So basically, all the conventions, except the French ones, are always held in English. There may be some panels in the local language, like Galacon has maybe 1 or 2 German panels, Chiquesta may have a Czech one.
Actually, young.
Okay, I didn't know, I wasn't sure, but there may be one. I know in Ponyville Ciderfest they usually have a Dutch fun panel, which is held in English, but they make like, they basically introduce Dutch traditions or food to the guest of honor. But that's it, everything else is in English. At Galacon it's basically a running gag already, that you have 2 people talking to each other in English for like 20 minutes until a third member comes by and says, you know, you guys can talk German to each other. Because people don't know each other. So they default to English and like after 20 minutes, you're both are Germans. You can speak German.
That's actually how I met my best friend. We're both Czech.
I think that's one of the beauties of like European concepts. I know here in this convention there's at least one other Indonesian, but not like a proper Indonesian. Like if you know Waffle Wishes, one of the vendors, he's Indonesian Canadian. So every time I go there, they just go, "Oi, like which is like how we were saying like hello and whatnot back home in a very casual way, and everyone would be like, what? But if you go to Galacon, you'll probably hear one of the 8 languages all at once. And that's the fun part. That's the fun part. You should experience that. Because you can all go to Europe easily.
I mean, funnily enough, I have a friend who's also from Finland who, so far, I have only met at Galacon.
How big is Galacon?
What?
How big is it?
About as big as this.
Yeah. It's Europe's biggest con so far. It's like only being trailed by Holland, Poland, and Czech Austria.
Yeah, it's the biggest fun in Europe and basically also in the middle of Europe.
It's basically the running out of Europe.
Yeah.
Is there Sequestria internationally, or are you talking about the one in Maryland?
No, we were
no,
talking about Czechquestria.
Czechquestria.
Yeah, like
Oh!
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sequestria. So there's like there might be 3 conflicting conventions for the same name. One is Czechquestria, which is in the Czech Republic and the Prague. There's one Sequestria Fest, which is somewhere in the East Coast, Atlantic City somewhere. He's not going to tell you. Maryland, actually, okay? And there's also Sea Pony Con, which I run. That is in Southeast Asia. Nowhere near Seattle, despite the first 3 letters being S-E-A in all capitals.
Real quick, can you confirm, is Sea Ponycon dead?
I cannot comment. I can't comment, but I can tell this one's dead. Nusa Ponycon's dead. This is the Indonesia's first, but after COVID, it's really, really hard in Southeast Asia to start it up again. So we'll work with the furries first and see how it goes. Don't quote me on that. Don't put it on a video.
Can you maybe tell the story?
Huh?
Who has a big plushie con?
Plushie con?
That's a Galacon usually. It wasn't this
Galacon,
year, but they're planning on bringing it back.
Can you maybe tell the story about Singlehof and the Danes?
Which story about Singlehof and the Danes?
The one with Dutch and Danish?
What?
You know it better than me, but if you don't remember, Singlehof is a friend of ours from the Netherlands. We also have a few friends from Denmark. I think it was at the last year's Ponycon Holland, where the Danes were making some plans to get dinner or something, and they were talking in Danish amongst each other. And Singlehof was just standing next to them. He doesn't speak Danish, he just speaks Dutch, but he understood them. Because basically Danish and Dutch and German are somewhat similar.
Yeah.
They were just talking Danish at some point. He was like, "Yeah, I agree. I'll come with you if you agree."
Yeah.
If you have your local friend group, they will talk their local language. But at the convention in general, English will fly.
Yeah, as someone who's been studying German on Duolingo, I can also like say that there's quite a few words that are very similar in German as they are in Swedish, which is my main language. Despite being from Finland, my native language is Swedish. I'm part of like a 6% minority in Finland.
Aren't Swedish and Finnish also very close?
Finnish is actually not very close. Finnish is one of the languages in Europe that's not part of the Indo-European language family. It's in the same language family as Hungarian and Estonian, and then a bunch of small languages that are spoken in parts of Finland and like Western Russia. But yeah, Finnish is a whole different beast. Because I just lived in Finland and studied it a long time, I can speak it decently, but it was hard learning it. It just has a whole lot of conjugations and stuff. Like in that way, it's a bit similar to German in that the grammar is hell, but still very different.
How like an airport.
Yeah.
We're actually running over time, but I'm not going to get out of here until Rock gets it up. So the next panel is at 12:13 in this room, and it's also the writers panel. So Vivid's going to kick me out.
Welcome to Germany, where the opposite of to drive around someone is to drive someone over. I'm not kidding.
No way! That just sounds wrong. I think there was a hand, not before
you know how you can get by with English pretty much all over Europe. This one time we are going to Hungary for a rally, Gumball, if anyone knows, and we drove like 8 hours by a bus. We got off the bus station and we're going to the hotel, and we are hungry. Obviously, after 8 hours.
You're hungry in Hungary.
Yes.
I love that. Finally, so I'm hearing someone say it. Yes.
And we noticed, we looked like, hey, there's a McDonald's here. They will probably know English because McDonald's is an international brand. So we get there, there's a lady, a Hungarian lady in front of us talking in Hungary. This is a weird language, it makes no sense to my brain. Okay, so she orders and goes away.
Actually running over time, but I'm not
I step
going to
up,
get out of here.
the lady greets me in Hungarian.
The next panel is at 12:13 in this room, and it's also the writers panel. So Vivid's
her eyes go wide, and as terror sets on her face, she turns around.
I'm not kidding.
No way! I don't know. I think I scared her for life. I started speaking in English. And a moment later, some guy comes by, barely able to speak English, but at least enough so that I can tell him that yes, I want that thing on the menu. Very much.
The finger pointing.
Yes.
Point for that burger.
Yes. So don't speak English in Hungarian.
Yeah. Hungarian is like still far enough from Finnish that I don't understand. Like it's more related in terms of how the grammar works. Estonian is for me just funny Finnish, in a similar way to how Dutch is a mix of funny German and funny English. And to me also Norwegian is a bit of funny Swedish. Norwegian, Swedish and Danish are almost just the same language, like with slight differences.
Then again, Norwegian is kind of a nicer Danish.
Yeah.
I've said it a few times this year. Dutch is like a drunk mix of German and English. Danish,
And Indonesian.
Danish sounds like a language made up by kids.
It actually makes sense when you start studying it. I've been at it for like 3 months now. It's getting better.
Yeah.
Icelandic.
Icelandic is also like related to Norwegian, Swedish and Danish, but it's like it's been separated for a long time, so it's quite different at the same time. A weird thing that I've heard, I can't since I'm not an expert on linguistics, I can't comment completely on that, but I've heard that apparently like dialect of Swedish that's spoken in Finland would be the closest language within the Nordic languages to Icelandic in some ways. For some reason.
We have really developed a linguistics panel right now.
Yeah.
You could kind of say that Slovakian is just speaking with Czech when you like your family.
If you wanna purchase Americans, try to
like a mix of German and English.
I mean, that just happens. Three conventions in the same.
Danish sounds like a language that maybe
I'm not that much into linguistics, but I know one.
It actually makes
song in Volksprach, which is like an artificial language, like a mix of all the Indo-Germanic languages. So basically, half of Europe is supposed to understand it, even though they never learned that language.
Yeah, that song is strange because it's like it feels like it's Swedish, it feels like it's German, it feels like you almost get it, and like I really love that song.
Yeah,
What have you got?
It's actually pretty good, and actually one of the Ponyville staff members was part of that song.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh, by the way, whoever is from like Finland or Sweden, can you actually understand German polka?
Somewhat. That's a bit more like still specifically Karelian dialect from like Eastern Finland. So it's a bit harder, and also, to be fair, a bunch of the lyrics is genuinely just like gibberish, like la la la, but yeah, somewhat I can understand it.
Three conventions in the same.
I just remember something. I'm not that much into linguistics, I just remember another story that you have to tell.
Okay, I think we'll be here for like another 5-10 minutes, and I think someone from Conox is going to come in.
Yeah, we're here until we're kicked out.
Because I think we pretty much have to tell the story about Ponyville Holland.
Okay, let's hear it.
At the first Ponyville Holland, they had an organization that helps kids with like therapy 3 music. And for the charity auction, they had 2 ukuleles put into the auction. And bronies being bronies, they didn't want to not also pay for the ukuleles, but also for the boxes the ukuleles came in.
Yeah. Oh, you should have seen the auction at this year's gala.
So they. The people just demanded to pay for an empty cardboard box. There were 2 boxes. There were 2 boxes and 2 plastic bags.
And there's one right here.
Exactly, it's one of the boxes.
This is one of the boxes. It's signed by literally anyone they come across.
This was auctioned off at the first Ponyville Holland 2 years ago. Someone put it back into the auction last year in the second Ponyville Holland, and we both bought it. And we've brought it to every convention since then.
To get more of this sign.
Yeah.
And all the outsides are signed. What are the inside? Oh, Jesus.
More signatures.
More signatures inside!
I went on a huge US spree this year. We're going to MomoCon, getting signatures like Living Tombstone, Silverhound, and Garnica, Flufflepuff.
Yeah, forget your mileage program. This is the true mileage of these 2 boys. What the heck is this?
A few weeks ago, at the third Ponyville Holland, we put it back into the charity auction. And bought it once more. People just didn't want to spend enough money, so we have to think of something special. We already have some fun. Yeah, we have some idea to spice it up for next year. It's going back to the charity.
Well, no, this year at Galacon, they were selling like when the presenter took a sip of water, everyone started chanting, sign the cup, sign the cup. Then there was sign the table, and when she sell the table, the venue won't let us. Everyone started chanting, sell the venue, sell the venue.
Selling the cups was actually stolen from Ponyfest because they did that earlier this year at Ponyfest.
Even from the Galacon.
Oh, but also at Ponyfest, they signed and sold off a watermelon.
More signatures pictures inside. I think the charity auction is
I
gonna
read
be absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
What's going on?
You have to go to a European charity auction. They are all crazy in their own way. Every convention has like their unique thing.
Also, be prepared to spend 2,000 euros on a signed hand.
Yes!
I have done things like that.
Where do you get your money from?
Both of us have one of those hats.
I mean, people who have been to Galacon a lot will remember the Joker versus Batman bidding wars.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
It's going back to
still
the charity.
something on the checklist here where everyone just filed money in.
That also happened with Joker and Batman.
Yeah.
If you go, Galacon has streamed their convention for years on YouTube. If you go back to the stream from 2019, the Sunday stream, YouTube has like they have made the chapter marks. So basically you have the voice actor panel and another panel. Then you have a chapter mark for the charity auction and another chapter mark just for the hat. Then auctioning the hat took half an hour.
Oh my god! I think that one of the craziest things that could happen maybe in this convention with the charity auction.
They signed and sold.
You guys did hear that somebody dropped in like an entire 2 boxes full of like original and other stuff. I think that's probably gonna go for holy shit.
You have to go
a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of laughing and a lot of
like their unique
wow.
Yeah.
But this fandom is crazy when it comes to charity. Can you give money?
Yes!
I have done things like that.
Sorry, David, we'll be done soon.
Where do you get your money from?
Both of us have one of those hats. As for the charity auction, that also involves James, like chair of the festival and all the check events. We like to chant his name whenever he comes up. He hates it.
We literally just did it.
He hates it with a passion. We still do it anyway.
If you're recording, just let me know.
For basically for every charity auction he's been to, he travels to a lot of European conventions, basically everyone. Whenever there's some special item being auctioned off, someone will shout, "Can James sign it?" Everyone looks at James.
The hat.
For charity, I'll sign it. And like 2 years ago at Chiquestria, people demanded to sell off his badge. And there was like a whole war of people putting money in just to claim his badge.
Are you sure James isn't a cult?
Yes.
He's a cult.
He just doesn't know it yet.
He's a European cult.
He's a cult leader, he doesn't know it.
My first ever convention that I went to back in like 2014
But this one is
was a convention of like multi-fandom place. I was like so shy around these strange people I always wanted to meet. And social skills to just stop talking.
As for the charity auction, that also involves James,
No, I'm
chair of the and all the check events. We like to chant his name whenever he comes up.
Literal ceremony.
With passion.
Just like candles.
Yeah, he hates it with a passion, we still do it anyway.
It was
If you're recording, just let me know.
elevated James.
What?
Like a god.
Are you telling?
Wait, he isn't?
He basically is a European cult.
Could you maybe pull up the picture of James in his Fluttershy cosplay, because I think some people might know him just by that, even though he's not revealed.
He's been on German TV.
They gave
And
churches
last,
these
no, like 2 years ago at Chiquestria,
and you drink the wine as the blood.
people demanded to sell off his
body of
badge.
Jesus.
But there was like
At
a
the
whole war
ceremony,
of people
they
putting
were
money in
giving
just to
Fanta
claim his badge.
and
James isn't a cult.
whatever was the other thing.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
I
that's
remember-
And Winnie from Galacon.
Yeah.
That's me.
He's a cult
They
leader,
discussed
doesn't
it.
know it.
And to this day, just 2 weeks ago, we still pissed him off by when he walked into the pub. We were just like, "James, our shining sun!"
At Galacon there have been plushies of Fanta bottles.
Yeah.
And like every charity auction has some Fanta related item. It gets crazy every year.
All because Jan Animations forgot a Fanta bottle at the table.
At the first or second Galacon.
So I
Second,
think the bottom line is go to European Convention as well.
Yes.
Just a little test. Buttons.
Wait, he isn't?
I don't even come from around here. I've never been to their conventions.
Just to finish off the story from Austria, they were auction off his badge. Basically, like, I think the Czech and the Germans were like the two biggest groups in the convention. The third biggest group was the Dutch group. And the Dutch people basically just made a money pot to get that badge. And the Czech people tried to make another money pot to keep the badge within the Czech Republic. And somebody had like two big money pots, and all the audience was putting money in one of the two bags.
And like 5 Dutch people versus like 20 or 30 Czechs.
Yes! That sounds like an economic problem right there. that is the economic disparity.
In the end, both money pools went into the charity. The Czech people got the lanyard, and the Dutch people got the badge. And they framed it. They framed it in a real picture frame. Last year at Ponyville Holland, James was holding a panel, and while he was holding the panel, Leah, one of the Ponyville Holland staff members, sneaked up on him from behind the stage and put his framed badge on one of the decorations on the stage. He didn't notice, but the whole audience started laughing at one point, and he was like, "What the hell is going on? Why is everyone laughing?"
I think the Czech and the Germans were like the
European conference. Okay, so I think that's pretty much what the time that we should be getting, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's explore the world together one con at a time, because we are all exploring the world one con at a time, whether we're traveling or whether we're traveling overseas. But if you're American, do consider flying out and seeing all of us out in Europe and maybe Asia Pacific if we come out back to it.
Yes.
Let's explore the world together one con at a time. And maybe thank you so much for coming, guys. Thank you for flying with us. They haven't kicked that out, so do whatever you want. Please come here if you want some Kopiko from Indonesia. I also have 90 stickers if anyone wants 90.
Hey, bro. Yeah. You want to sign this?
Yeah, sure.
Sneaked up on him from behind the stage and put his framed badge on one of the decorations on the stage. He didn't notice, but the whole audience started laughing at one point, and he was like, "What the hell is going on? Why is everyone laughing?"
Poor guy. Go to European con. Okay, so I think that's pretty much what the time that we should be getting, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's explore the world together one con at a time, because we are all exploring the world one con at a time, whether we're traveling overseas or not. But if you're American, do consider flying out and seeing all of us out in Europe and maybe Asia Pacific if we come out back to it. Let's explore the world together one con at a time, and may the blue skies be forever clear for all of us. Thank you so much for coming, guys. Thank you for flying with us. They haven't kicked that out, so do whatever you want. Please come here if you want some Kopiko from all the way from Indonesia. I also have 90 stickers if anyone wants 90.
Yeah, sure.
What?